Artists and creatives, you have the power to heal, transform, and elevate lives. Are you ready to step into that power? Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Superfan Attraction, Personal Branding, and PR for Artists and Creatives. I'm your host, Diane Foy, and today we're going to talk about purpose-driven content. I'm going to explain the difference between target market, target audience, and your superfan, and all the other things that go into purpose-driven content. So, after you've developed your personal brand, you got your stories, you know who you are, what you represent. Now it's time to figure out who's most likely to appreciate that and how to create content to draw them in and engage with them. So, first, for your superfan, some people get confused with target market, target audience, and your ideal client, customer, fan. So, your target market is the bigger group of people. It refers to people that like your niche. Their demographics. So it's the age, it's the gender, it's the revenue, career, or interests, values, mindset, lifestyle. And that is the bigger picture of target market. But we want to go a little deeper than that, because just because that they're, in that niche doesn't mean they're going to be your ideal superfan. So target audience, it takes a segment of your target market. It's people that are in your target market that if they were exposed to what you offer, they may engage. They may even purchase from you. But they're not committed to you. They're not loyal. So a target audience is someone that, if maybe watched one of your movies or went to see, you in a play or bought one of your products or art pieces. But they're not going to necessarily continue on with you. They enjoyed that one song or that one product, but you need to engage with them a little bit more to turn them into a super fan. So your super fans are a segment of your target audience, but they've developed a personal connection with you and your talents. The connection is so special that they passionately follow you. They passionately support you, and they share their experiences or impression of you to everyone that will listen. These are your super fans. That kind of explains the difference. And so, who are these people? Sometimes you could do a little research, maybe look at someone that is more successful than you in what you do and start to see what are the common traits of people that follow that person. But that helps you clear up who your ideal client, customer, superfan is from your target audience. And it's maybe your target market or your target audience is kind of a starting point of where you're going to find your ideal superfans. But getting to know what are the characteristics of your ideal client, superfan, that's where you'll find them. And I won't go too much into detail there because in future episodes or in my coaching with artists, we really get into this. But that gives you an overview of how to identify your superfan. Now, purpose-driven content. I believe there may be some people that say that you don't need a website, but you need a damn website. You need a damn website, because especially if what you want is to be a public person, to be a performer, or even a coach like me, or a service provider, you need a website. It's your home base. It's the only place that you own. Social media platforms come and go. And remember years ago, all those famous MySpace people, those MySpace artists, bands. And when I was doing publicity, the biggest pet peeve is when, oh yeah, I don't have a website, but here's my MySpace. Or people that, oh, now Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, or your Spotify, that's great. But I need to see your website. So your website is your home base. It's where, okay, I'm going to explain this a bit more. As a publicist and as media, if you're wanting to get media attention, they want you to have a website. A media person might want to read your bio before they listen to your music or check out whatever it is you do. Your website is home base, so that I might want to read your bio first. Someone else might want to see your Instagram first. Someone else might want to see your Facebook or your YouTube first. Someone else might want to go to Spotify or whatever other platform you have, or your LinkedIn. But if you give them your one link, and that way you also don't have to give a million links. It's like, I'm DianeFoy.com. Whatever else platform, you'll be able to be linked from there. So you can go to my website, DianeFoy.com. And if you want to know more about the podcast and YouTube show, you click podcast. If you want to visit my Instagram, you click Instagram. If you want to watch the videos, click YouTube. If you want to go to my LinkedIn, there you go. Or if you want to know more about coaching, if you want to know more about what services I offer, how you can work with me, or if you want to grab my free resource, the Superfan Attraction Playbook and Training, definitely go check that out at dianefoy.com/freebie. And it's your home base. I'm going to say that over and over again. It's where ideally you also have an EPK, which we'll talk about in the next episode when we focus on media and publicity. But yeah, it's where you'll have your high-res photos for media to download, to have your bio, to have everything on one place is your EPK. So that's the importance of a website. And then from there, then there's your social media platforms and your social media system. Because I get it, social media, it's overwhelming. It's never ending. The changes, especially Instagram, the algorithm changes and what you need to do, and it becomes a full-time job to do all the things that the social media experts tell you need to do. I believe that it's important to claim your space on every social media platform so that you have the same username on all. That's also important. You don't want to be like, I'm this on Instagram, but I'm this over on Facebook. And no, I'm Diane Foy Arts. Whatever platform's out there, that's where you'll find me. And so purpose-driven content. You want to create content that draws from your personal brand. It draws from your stories and what you're offering. And you want to create content that will attract your super fans. that will attract the industry that may bring you opportunities. It will attract media. And social media is your tool. It's free. That's the big thing too. It's a free marketing platform. You definitely want to pick your main platform. And part of that research that you did on your ideal superfan, you also want to figure out where are they hanging out. You know, there's certain people that in order to find them and attract them, you got to be on TikTok. Then that should be your number one platform, and you can repurpose content to the other platforms. Other people, you know, your superfan might be on Facebook or on Instagram, or more and more these days, YouTube. So the first thing, I would definitely set up your profiles on all the platforms, but you don't necessarily have to be, you know, on all the platforms all the time. It's more about creating content. And the platforms are where you'll distribute that content. So you want to have a plan for social media, your themes. This is what I will go through further on the podcast. And also I go dive deeper with my clients, is setting up a system that you can tackle social media and be consistent with it, and take your stories that you started to collect in the personal branding and tell your stories. Create a story vault. Be sure to sign up for the free Superfan Attraction Playbook and training, because there's one of the exercises is to your story timeline. It's starting to collect your stories. And then I coach artists and creatives a little bit further on finding your stories and developing it into a bio and developing it into social media content. But it starts with your timeline, and also just remembering all the different experiences you've had, and then how to shape those into a story that can draw people in. And just start collecting your stories in Word doc, whatever it is. And that way you're never scrambling for what to post or what to tell that day. You look and go, okay, I feel like talking more about my why today. Which story should I tell today? And or behind the scenes, or just so there's a variety of your content. So that's Story Vault. And then obviously photos and videos and repurposing content. So if you think about your number one platform, if it's Instagram, it's more about video now. So you want to be sure to be creating reels on a consistent basis. And whereas other platforms are still more photo based, some of the newer platforms that are coming out are kind of the way Instagram used to be, which is kind of nice. I hope some of those take off. You know, is it long form video? If your main platform is YouTube, then long form video is your main content. And then you can break that up and repurpose it for the other platforms, for the other types of content. You can take what you talked about in a long form video, cut it up, key points, and make a carousel on Instagram, or make a blog post for your website. So you're on all the social media platforms. You've picked your main one that most likely your ideal superfans are on there more often, and you're posting content that will engage them and draw them in and tell your stories, show yourself on photos and videos. You also need to engage with your ideal superfans, your ideal clients. It's not enough to just be posting all this content. You want to engage with people. You want to find your ideal your potential ideal superfans or potential clients and engage with them. Engage with their content. And one way to find those ideal superfans is go to someone that is maybe more successful than you in what you do and see who's commenting on their stuff. Maybe comment on those bigger platforms content, as well as the people that are commenting, go to their page, see their content, engage with them. And this is where you can start having that back and forth. Here are this week's crystal recommendations. For content creation, I thought putting yourself out there online may attract negativity and trolls, negative comments. And so it takes some bravery. And so black tourmaline deflects and repels negative energy. And when it's rubbed, it becomes charged with magnetic electricity, and that increases your luck. So push away negativity, increase luck. The next gemstone is hematite, and that increases mental focus and creativity. And it's also a grounding stone. It even has some weight to it, and it calms your mind and emotions while activating your energy centers. So it's good. Grounding, courage, manifestation, brings clarity and a positive attitude. Next is carlian. Carlian. It is a stone of motivation and action. Helps you overcome any fears or anxieties that might be holding you back from really doing what you need to do to achieve your goals. And it's creativity, it's courage. And lastly, bloodstone. Bloodstone, the stone of courage and tenacity, which we all need to achieve our goals. And it amplifies your dedication to your goals, and it helps remove energy blocks. I think I might need this right now. Anyways, that is this week's recommendations. So that gives you an overview of purpose-driven content. I want to remind you about the free Superfan Attraction playbook and training that you can sign up for at dianefoy.com/freebie. I'm Diane Foy Arts on all socials. And if you want to get coaching from me on the show, you can apply at dianefoy.com/volunteer. And if you want some more support, and one of the topics that is in the Superfan Attraction playbook that you want a little more support on, or you want me to help draw out your stories or help you figure out who your ideal superfan or who your ideal client is, you can come on the show and I'll coach you. So that's it for today. Next episode, we will go into media, publicity, and all that goes into that. And I'm so honored to be your guide on this journey. Till next time. Thanks for watching Superfan Attraction. If you enjoyed this episode and all that you're learning, be sure to subscribe to the channel. To connect with me, I'm Diane Foy Arts on all socials and in the Superfan Attraction group on Facebook.